afternoon, YouTube. We're back in the shop. It's hotter than a spoon in Demi Lovato's house. We're out making repairs on the golf cart after my recent stunt. You may know about that, you may not. But before I tell you about it, I want to tell you how we built this thing. It was the summer of 2015. We were at the Sandsports Super Show. The Trophy LTD was hard parked in the Casey Highlights booth. After a day of drinking beer and hanging out with friends, peer pressuring was had, and Ryan Kibbe convinced me it would be a great idea for us to run the car in the SST race, and he was going to drive. After 14 laps or so, we were doing well, we qualified, but the trunk had come off and the car was in pretty terrible shape. The next day, we looked around on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and we couldn't find just a trunk. So we ended up having to buy a whole car. This is where the golf cart story actually starts. Once the trunk was robbed off the car, what do you do with it? It was actually a pretty decent car. It ran and drove well. After looking at it for a while, I had a brilliant idea. What if you cut the car up and took every single thing off the car that wasn't absolutely necessary for it to run and drive? How fast could we make this thing? $300 in Sawzall blades and cut-off wheels. The car was down to the bare frame. We actually even drove it around town like that. We decided to make a roof for it out of an old pickup truck bed cover. It had 4 sticks, basically, to hold it up. One day we looked at it and we went, kind of looks like a golf cart. And the name stuck. That was it. The golf cart was a blast. We had months of fun in it. One radical New Year's Eve, after a pretty excessive Roman candle fight, we set the damn thing on fire. The damage from the Roman candle war wasn't that bad, but the car didn't run anymore. We were also looking to make more power at the time. I decided, let's LS swap this thing. Everything with an LS motor always runs awesome. We decided to just throw all the spare parts from the LTD in the golf cart. Bam! We had a 300-horse monster. He already crashed it! He crashed! He spun out! When we LS swapped the golf cart, we also added a spot to mount a couple of motorcycles. That way when we'd go out exploring in the desert, we had bikes with us. If it broke down, we had a bike to get back. Also, if you wanted to go do a hill climb or whatever, you had bikes with you. It was awesome. Shortly after doing the LS swap, we saw that Holly was putting on LS Fest West in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we decided to go. We entered the burnout contest that was sponsored by Cletus McFarland. We 100% won that. But they ended up giving it to somebody else because the guy drifted up and handed him a soda or something. Lame. My buddy Dylan decided to climb up and do a burnout on the motorcycle while we were doing a burnout in the golf cart. And I think we may have pissed off Holly's insurance provider for the event. Oh well, I still think it was badass. After LS Fest, we continued to explore the desert and just log miles on the golf cart. It treated us so good. We had so much fun with the thing. Then suddenly, in 2020, the whole world flipped out about some cold or something. It was about this time I decided to move to the desert permanently, and I brought the golf cart with me. It was the most fun time ever. We explored the deserts, everybody had time off work. It was great. We just had the best friggin' time. After a while, it definitely started to show its age. We beat on it and beat on it and beat on it. The motor mount started to crack, the frame was bent, we had jumped it countless times, so it was kind of twisted up. It was time for a refresher. So one day we decided to pull it in the shop, and we were just going to fix the motor mounts. We ended up changing the chassis entirely. We found an old Class 8 race truck that had been rolled over, and I got a set of coilovers from my buddy Sandy. When we started doing Golf Cart 2.0, I had never linked a truck before. I had no knowledge on how any of that's supposed to go, but I had an Axial Pro 4 RC car in the shop, and it had links. So I just pretty much matched everything we were fabricating to that RC car. And it worked. What was once just the camp clownmobile was now turning into a full-fledged race car. Just as the golf cart was sitting on its own weight, the shop in the desert was done, and it was time to move in. After a couple-month break, we were set up, and we were making progress on the golf cart again. The decision to replace the entire chassis of the golf cart was a daunting task. This would require sheet metal work, this would require mounting new seats, a new console, a shifter, new engine mounts, trans mount, gas tank, cooling system. The list goes on. Also, in the process of moving, we ditched the 4.8 and the old Turbo 400, and we got a brand new 6.2 LS3 and a brand new Turbo 400 with a manual valve body. While doing some doodling of the golf cart one evening, I jokingly added a supercharger like a Ed Roth drawing. I liked it so much that we had to make it reality. After a quick Google search, we found a polished 671 supercharger for a LS3. Months went by and I continued to make progress. I added a Holley 7-inch touchscreen, a custom-made 3-inch stainless TIG welded exhaust. It was really shaping up to be a nice car. The list on the board continued to get shorter and shorter. Fuel lines were all done, the brake lines were done, the wiring was kinda done, and we were ready to start the thing. So we put some fuel in the tank and pushed the button. I can't tell you how happy I was when I heard that blower whine and the engine roared to life. Man, did it sound good. A few more days of buttoning stuff up, tightening bolts, double checking things. It was time for its first drive. And what a drive it was! My goodness, if you even touched the gas, the tires would just explode. It was obvious that the new golf cart could do some seriously epic burnouts. But could it jump? Sandy brought his Bobcat up, and we built a track complete with a jump. A big jump. With a little bit of tuning and a little bit of tinkering, we decided it was finally time to hit the jump. But you don't get to see that until part 2.